Coca-Cola. Christmas is about magic, and Coca-Cola is definitely bringing the magic to you and family. Now, as we already told you earlier, we're going to be celebrating the biggest celebrities when it comes to the entertainment and criticizing it, not for the bad but for the good of it. We already told you we're going to be having celebrated music critic Uncle Kuku Wazabanga Kasuku, fresh from South Africa. I hope that you don't have the Omicron.
No, I don't.
No, I love jet lag.
Yeah, I had jet lag.
4 hours. 4 hours.
So we are in December, and December is the month of Basama.
Hey.
Does it qualify to be called a Musama?
Nice.
Welcome back home, Musama.
Thank you. Nice.
Thank you. Sendi Chimala.
Yeah. Welcome back to Uganda.
Thank you.
Kampala missed you.
I missed Kampala too.
It's good to have you back.
It's good to be here.
Celebrated music critic Uncle Eddie Sendi is already in the building. We want to say thank you for joining us today yet again.
It's always a pleasure to join you guys, and the cream on the cake is whenever I get here and I find the drop dead gorgeous, beautiful, talented Linda Den in the house. Omwana muwala omubalagavu omubobevu omulungi alina ekitone ate mumanyi Linda Den.
Amina. Linda Den, that is your message from Uncle Eddie Sendi. And then of course we have the man who is called the jack of all trades. He's an entrepreneur, he's a radio host, but he's also a musician, he's a vocalist, he's a writer. The one and only Uncle Jenkins Mukasa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I'm trained as entrepreneurs as well.
Yeah.
Kasuku live boss. I might not believe it. I don't think I'm fat enough.
Entrepreneur boy Angela. Mu company yali muogu. MD, the CEO, the accountant, the PRO, the get money, byonna.
Uncle Sendi and Singapore.
Uncle Jenkins, thank you for joining us today as well.
Welcome.
How have you been?
Very well, very well.
It's been a minute since you were last in studio.
Yeah, you don't invite me, so sometimes I find my way.
Wow.
Yes.
Fantastic. These three gentlemen that you are seeing over here just celebrated 10 years of one of entertainment's biggest talk shows on radio, Talk and Talk. And from the time that you did celebrate Talk and Talk, we've never had a chance to ask you, how was the celebration?
The celebrations were nice. We were here and everything was
fantastic.
Was proper, yeah. It was worth all the years.
Worth all the 10 years.
Yes.
Fantastic. Uncle Eddie?
Yes, man.
How was the celebration?
Beautiful. I'm sure these studios have never had the biggest number of cakes that I saw here on that day.
Yeah.
Because every staff member who was present
ate some cake.
No, walked out with a cake.
A full cake?
Yes, so you can imagine.
Not queen cake.
No, a full cake.
Yeah. Somebody asked me to ask you, out of all the many cakes that you received as part of the celebration, did you receive any cake from the industry?
None.
We
were supposed to get one from Zwena Pastries, but it did not arrive.
Tochigira.
Jenkins now just for
Strange enough, the musician who gave us a cake actually is not even renowned. Is a chap called James Mwanga from England.
No, also Liam Voice also gave us a cake.
Liam Voice gave us a cake? Yes. Sandra Subi.
Yes.
Sandra Subi gave something with her manager Dorothy Nabujo. We're known for blindfolding somebody's hands. Yali amuteze ekibatu n'akifuya n'amugamba tofaayo kabongeko.
Fantastic.
I love the gentleman for one thing. Ne bwe bafunye ekikonde kye, he took it honorably.
Fantastic. I am going to be piloting this show with my co-host Sami Gideon Wetala and DJ Brian, all the way from Governor, Uganda, East Africa's #1 night spot. Sami.
These guys, I'm quoting somebody. These guys are enemies of the industry. These guys are full of BS. These guys do not add anything in this industry. Guys, can you justify your presence here?
You see, even Jesus Christ was crucified and he was put together between two robbers, and a lot of what he said during his days was misunderstood. So who are we
Not to be misunderstood.
not to be misunderstood and wrongly labeled? But the only good thing is we maintain what we call the Bobby Wine theory. There was a time we had so many run-ins with Bobby Wine and we kept hitting him hard, you know, to shape him and put him in line. Then we met. And when we meet some people, they pull faces, they look sad, they look miserable. He held his head high and said, whatever you say, I don't mind. Out of the 100 things you say, I pick the 2 that benefit me, and I leave the 98 to rot. So that is the advice I would give anyone who says we are haters, we are
Enemies of the industry.
Yeah.
No, you pick out those 2 that work for you. Use the Bobby Wine theory in short.
Justify your presence here. People think you're full of BS. People think you're an enemy of the industry.
But those that think that we're enemies of this industry, we've been here longer than they've been. And we've shaped this industry more than they've done. We've contributed more than them who've been Xeroxing.
In what way? In what way have you contributed to the industry?
For example,
justify that.
None of us here has ever Xeroxed a Nigerian song. Now the people are talking are always Xeroxing Burna Boy and everyone else and bring it to us. And we point and say that is a Burna Boy song. Who is the enemy of the industry? Look around, all those guys that are making noise. They have nothing to say. There's nothing they can present apart from going to Guru, probably.
Anyway.
Kasuku. Well, I think these guys have said everything.
Yeah.
You know, I have one problem. I'm tired.
Of being tired.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Kasuku, as you are saying that, I need you to look at the camera.
Yeah. Okay, well, I have one problem. I am tired.
And shall we just zoom in, Kasuku, as you are justifying your presence here?
Like, I'm tired. The time I've been here, there's not so much that has changed. You get what I'm saying? So those people who are saying we are enemies of progress, they can go and hang. We are here to do what we have to do, and we move to the next things. We don't have time for nonsense.
Because the issue, their argument was, if these guys have anything to add to the industry, let them go to studio and let them record songs.
No,
if they cannot record a song, they do not have a moral authority to tell us about our music industry.
You know,
For Jenkins,
I've recorded more songs than all those bubblegum songs that they put across here.
which of your songs is a hit?
You will play some videos, you have them here.
Sami,
Yeah.
let me say this to you.
Have you heard of Tugende?
I will use
Massive, international.
Sami, I will use football as an example. The best football managers were not footballers,
Players.
or were not professional footballers, or those who tried weren't as successful as the footballers they manage.
Most.
Ask anyone who laments and talks. Unfortunately, we are on
The
international
biggest
TV. But I'll
talent
tell you,
managers.
look at Wenger, look at Ferguson, look at who is this guy, Guardiola. Look at
Guardiola played football.
Mourinho. To what level?
Yeah.
Okay.
What level? You understand?
Guardiola is an exception.
You can't
But when you look at
put
Mourinho,
level.
when you look at Jurgen Klopp, when you look at Alex Ferguson, they tried football, but
Wenger.
Okay.
All of them who tried. Kali kapira. Tegwali mupira.
Okay.
Babola bana bayimbi bafa abamu.
Okay. Thank you.
Bayimba kayimba.
Okay.
Bayimba mu nyimba.
yeah,
Okay.
one of the biggest managers in this country, the guys who have given us two of the best acts we've seen,
Cannot even sing Baba Black Sheep.
cannot even sing Katonda Yebaziu. Jeff Chiwa, he has given us Shiba and Ready and Weasel.
Even even your
18 years of this.
Okay, so
music
get to come
business,
out.
those two.
Okay. Okay, just before we go for a break now, I would like to tell everybody who's watching the show right now that our forums are open for discussion and contribution. That is at NTV The Bit on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Topics for today are, real quick, awards in Uganda. 2, Ugandans adopting the culture of paying for music. And 3, artists and management. Those are going to be the center.
Social media ayogera ekyekisiru nja kuddayo muvume.
You don't have to do that. Those are going to be our earmarks for conversation today. When we come back after the break, the discussion and conversations go into play. This is NTV The Beat, so UG. Let's go. Still NTV The Beat, classic celebration of nothing but Ugandan music 100% to the fullest. And I continue to remind you that as much as you are enjoying the show, don't you forget to grab yourself an ice-cold Coca-Cola and you shall definitely be part of the magic. Christmas is about magic, and Coca-Cola is bringing the magic right to you and your family as you join us for the festive seasons. We are NTV The Beat. Uncle Eddie Sendi, in case you're just joining us, Jenkins Mukasa, in case you're just joining us, and Uncle Kasuku was a banger, are in the building. We are doing the wrap-up of their 2021. All right, we just stopped right where we were giving you what are going to be the points of discussion. A was
Basically, man, looking at award ceremony and whether they are, doing the right thing for the industry and whether we actually need them and if they're doing the right thing for the right people with the right music.
Yeah.
Number 2, everything to do with basically, man, the issue of streaming and whether we as Ugandans are doing enough into that regards, be it the listeners, but also the artists as well. And number 3, management.
Artists and management.
Yeah.
We're all going to be having at least, fair enough, 2-3 minutes to banter.
Yeah.
Until the very last minute of the show.
Yeah.
All right, recently we were just celebrating an award ceremony that was celebrating the industry. And that is where we are going to start from, the Janzi Awards. I cannot go without not mentioning this. And the key starting point is going to be this. DJ Brian, shall you please do the honors? Something that is supposed to be selling the Ugandan flag beyond borders, something that is supposed to be highlighting how the Ugandan industry has grown as in regards to celebrating it for the year 2021. These are the Janzi Awards. Kasuku, I'll start with you.
For starters, for me, I think that's an isolated event that really we could, maybe the organizers couldn't do much about it, because the guy who came on stage must have planned, how do I jump onto the stage and make my point heard? You get it? So that's just one isolated event. It's unfortunate, and such an event highlights exactly what the problems of the music industry
It's a true reflection of what our society is.
But it is not something that we can, it is unfortunate and all those things. Yes, you could blame the organizers, maybe the security was not enough, they didn't have a stage manager, how did the guy get there? But overall, when you look at the production, the organization of the awards was very okay.
How about looking at the backstory before the front story?
What's the backstory?
The boy is holding the microphone and saying, give us our money
Exactly.
from Gulu.
That's what I was telling you. That incident highlights the state of the music industry today. My issues with Janzi, apart from some of the nominations I was not okay with, the actual event was okay. I have issues with the nominations.
Like?
So I won't go into that now, but I have issues with some of the nominations. And then the money that was spent on organizing that event, vis-a-vis the challenges the music industry has, I think it was a good idea brought at the wrong time.
How much money?
You get what I'm telling you?
Yes.
That even took off 1 billion shillings.
Really?
Yes. Even if, okay, let us say it took 200 million. Let us just move to 200 million. 200 million with the challenges the musicians are having. That is money you can put in their circle for them to come and borrow.
True.
You get what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
Yes. So I'm saying that much as the idea was okay, yeah, the production on the day was fine, but I think there are more pressing issues. Art as a whole,
yeah,
that art has, that have not been addressed. Because when you look at most of the people involved in the Janzi Awards, Baba De Guru, Bari Muwuma, they are always having meetings with General Sale, General Kayanja, this big person, this big person. Nothing has ever been concluded. Tebatulankao batuleri wa General Sale, we are changing, musicians incorporating into this. They are now becoming Uganda Musicians Associations. We are doing this and this and this. Abayimbi bavaayo biru bagirekera musajja abamu bavaayo babanja oba okitegera kyeŋŋamba kati we never got anything tangible from Guru. What came was the Janzi Awards. They are okay, I have no problem with them, the idea is good, but I think right now a musician like Kabako may not want the Janzi Awards, especially when you look at the people involved. You feel like government is directly in it. Ayagala kwate ku sente baba banja amayumba bakola ki, you know.
What I take from what you're saying is that they should.
But they should not spend money on Jazz Awards.
No. What I take from what you're saying is
to eat.
Wait. What I take from what you're saying is you're saying that
the people are hungry.
They should have tackled more pressing issues than organizing awards.
For
the cost of the money that they use.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Jenkins Mukasa, you have 3 minutes.
I disagree with.
What was the pedigree as you are going to address?
As an artist, the industry has been dormant since Palm Awards collapsed. And another sleepy 2 years of COVID. You need something to kickstart and appreciate those that have worked hard while others are begging for kaunga. You get? Many people, the woman was not involved in this. This was organized by the Janzi Secretariat. Now when people say government has organized, I don't understand. Under which ministry? You get? This is misinformation running around. Then you say it's a woman. Many guys apart from Sendi, I even stopped some Uma people from performing on that show. It was purely
because they were not part or they were not booked.
But they are Uma.
No.
Apart from
being
Sendi,
Uma does not mean
what you do.
You're going to perform. You get it?
If it was a Uma thing, even DJ Mike and Zawed would have performed. They did no Uma person performed on that show. Apart from one nominee who is seen and won an award that has been taken out to say Uma dominated the awards and they owned them. 2, the money that you're talking about, 9 billion.
I've not said 9 billion.
How much?
Yeah, I've said almost 1 billion.
Almost.
Yes.
The amount of money that has been spent on, I can tell you that up to now, even people have not been cleared. If that money was already spent, it's not there. And I'm telling you from the inside information. What happened with that Janzi Awards? A platform has been created to appreciate people that do different genres of what? Art. Publishers, actors, everyone, for the first time in this country. You're having everyone, including guys that do apps and all these things, appreciated. It was not the same with Palm Awards. Now, some people see that what has happened because of this guru syndrome, everyone believes that money was there. They should have given, even guys that are inside that thing want to eat money. So they believe money should have, like he said, they should not have organized the event, should have given us money. You have a circle that you have run down. Artists have been given a circle, Kabako, to give you money for what? redeem his plot of land at 20 by 30. Please, let's appreciate the industry and try to push it to people who give a heart and spend on the industry. We need all that support now.
So just a little. Inform me. So the Janzi Secretariat organized this.
Yes.
What is the Janzi Secretariat?
Janzi Secretariat.
What is the pedigree of the Janzi Secretariat?
No, let's first look
Janzi
at the composure.
Secretariat is the organization that organizes Janzi Awards. You know, the idea came from, you are talking about big, that they should have given them small accolades and they gave for Palm Awards. Palm Awards gave a glass that was useless. Most of them are broken now. What these guys have done, every artist has been given an instrument that costs $1,000, which you can add onto your art. Go to the studio, use it to play, and make your art different. When my man said it's a very big one, goes by a tractor, you wanted, if I'm giving you a keyboard, you want it to be equal to a wallet?
Okay, Jenkins, Janzi Secretariat has who and who and who.
Now that
I want us to move.
That is another story. There are too many. There are too many people.
You know why I'm saying that?
For me to begin giving it,
you chose to give the information.
No.
I want us to go slowly by slowly.
I do not
tell us.
I have 3 minutes on this show, and I cannot name 100 people in the Janzi Secretariat, including
Jenkins. I think the most important thing that he raised has to do with the relevance of the Janzi Awards within a space where the artistry in the country
has more pressing
issues.
Yes.
Let me just ask you, Jenkins, for a question.
We've spent over 3 years sorting issues. People have gone to Guru and slept there for weeks, sorting these same issues. And people have come back with money. Will we spend the rest of the decade trying to sort those small things and not rewarding other people that have worked hard and done the craft? So you want Palaso not to go with the Artist of the Year award because Kabako is still not having food? No.
The challenge we have is that one of us here is a beneficiary of the...
Now, that is one thing. And again, you benefit many things.
Let him conclude.
You benefit on Song Boost, and I also come and support you. You've been a beneficiary of Song Boost.
Okay.
This man has been a beneficiary of Haji Bujingo's wedding, that twin wedding.
Okay.
And I've supported you.
So, in other words, you want us to support you.
All of us here feed from somebody.
It's okay.
You want us to support you.
The problem
let me have the platform.
Is that some of my friends here were not involved. And if they had been involved,
I have a question for you. Jenkins.
Now,
Jenkins.
our people are used.
Jenkins, you have 3 minutes.
I can only see when there's a bread in their mouth.
Jenkins, I have a question for you.
They are blind.
Mr. Jenkins.
Like my man here.
Mr. Jenkins.
You have bread in your mouth.
Mr. Jenkins, I have a question for you. Just before I bring in Uncle Eddie. Sendi. In 1 minute, I'm awarding you 1 more minute to answer this question.
Yes.
I'm going to come from Kasuku's point of view.
Yes.
Kasuku did mention that there should have been more pressing issues to handle as opposed to organizing an award ceremony. Though he said it's not a bad idea, but the timing. And now I'm quoting you saying the instruments that you are giving out in form of an award, as an accolade.
Yes.
The cost of them was $1,000.
Yes.
So I was pressing my calculator here, and I transferred $1,000 into Ugandan shillings.
Yes.
I put it at 3.5 million.
Yes.
So if 20 winners walked away with that,
over 90.
so I'm just giving an example.
100 winners.
If 20 winners walked away with an award,
Give yourself a headache.
yeah,
There were
if-
100
100
winners.
winners.
That is 350.
that is 350 million
Yeah.
to give
On
to give an
awards
instrument to go and put in your deal. In your sitting room.
That instrument can be used. You can decide
In the
to
event-
make it a decoration or
Yeah.
use it as an instrument.
So I'm picking from Kasuku.
Yes.
Don't you think that 350 million could have been of much greater use to the artists as
That
regards
have
the
not
pandemic, the pandemic that they have gone through for 2 years? I'm thinking that's what Kasuku was trying
And I
to say.
answered like this.
And you have 1 minute
If
to
I have
address it.
Palaso that has worked hard for 2 years and he has hit songs, you want me not to award him his effort of 2 years.
How about you give him the $1,000?
And then use that money, distribute it to Kabakwa, the rest of the
No, how about you give him the $1,000?
Yeah, they can that one is like your Bitcoin that you are talking about. Yeah. You can sell it and have money with it.
Jenkins, I think what Palazzo needs, it does not really need an award. Palazzo needs this country to be opened. Palazzo needs to perform.
That is another chapter.
Palazzo needs the policies.
The president has told us that January, once we hit the numbers of vaccines, he's opening.
Which you already surpassed.
You are saying no. Please first open, don't award Palazzo.
No, what we are saying is
Palazzo got that
would be
plus
performing for his fans.
With the award that he got, with money on it. Okay.
Jenkins.
Which money he needed.
Thank you very much. Uncle Eddie Sendi, I'm bringing you into this space. Musicians are not allowed to perform. But an event like Janzi has people who attend. You can organize tables of 10 tents and you can have about 100 people or 200 people. And then the same musicians that are not allowed to perform somewhere else are invited to come and perform on the same stage. I'm thinking an artist like Spice Diana has been crying for 2 years to say, I can also have the same setting. I can so kupangisa Serena, nendeta abantu bibiri, kutebo. No, we're not looking at the music. Any artist who has music, we're not looking at the music. We're not looking at the music. And then naja naimbira abantu ku stage. What is the difference between having those people inside a hall, 200 people, and you have people performing for them on stages, but then you say an artist cannot do the same somewhere else because we're in a pandemic?
Because of SOPs. You have to follow SOPs, and we have to be sure you follow those SOPs. So you can get approval. We are here, many of us.
This question is for Uncle Edison.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, one.
Georgina.
My issue with Janzi Award, brilliant idea, but extravagantly done, and it raises so many questions. Sincerely speaking, one of the reasons why the Olympics are not as famous as the World Cup is because of bringing so many sports all together. What the chaps tried to do was to get to create accountability for so much money spent when you see what was done there. And I want viewers, I stand for someone to come and teach me on this. All the money spent is the taxpayers' money. Let's not hide behind
Janzi committee,
Janzi organizing secretariat.
Yes.
What?
Because we're asking the composure of the secretariat. Then where did the secretariat get the money?
The headlining organization is called Uganda National Culture Center, which is a government body under the Ministry of Gender. Okay? And that is where the money was channeled from.
Operational work.
Whoever is behind the Janza Awards, thank you very much. I'm happy for you. You went home smiling. But to the Ugandans, you did more harm than good.
But the other thing that I
gave you a chance to speak. In turns, who are people supposed to treat us? In turns, who are people supposed to help us when we are sick in hospitals, are striking because they are not paid. And the people are busy buying Janzi instruments at $1,000. Let's just get that. Anybody in the industry knows how much it takes to run such an event. Don't look at anything. Look at the production only. Just the production. That is stage, sound, light, tents, chairs, leveling of the ground and all that. Just look at that. You will understand. The problem we are having today in Uganda is there is what we call misappropriation of funds. But somebody almost wants to punch me because I'm saying...
No, I don't want to punch you. I just want to highlight one thing, that my friends here work in the media, and media was invited on a press conference. So they ask the questions to know more about the whole. They refuse to come and even to attend. So what they are saying is on TV. You should have come and ask your questions and understand exactly.
I don't have a question to ask. Mr. Mukasa,
whatever you're saying,
there is no question
the
to ask.
expense was what?
One, let me tell you, that money should have been spent better. Two, the art industry, because this wasn't music industry per se, but was the entire artistic industry, okay? Actually, and beyond, because they brought in even people who develop apps and stuff, okay? Has more pressing issues than being given a one.
Thank you very much.
You are enemies of the industry, or I will say you.
You will say all what you want to say, but you won't change my opinion.
Okay. Opinion is like oxygen. Everybody's entitled. Sammy, what's your closing remark on this?
I just want to know how much you pocketed.
No, I didn't. For us, I've spent 20 years working for this industry. From 1997.
1 second.
You know, there's a reason Jenkins came putting on a yellow t-shirt.
No.
If you know, you know.
Now, that is the problem with our people.
If you know, you know.
Okay.
Does not
Fantastic. I continue to remind you to join the conversation on all our social media platforms. That is at NTV The Beat on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We have Uncle Eddie, Sendi, Kasuku, was a banga, and Jenkins Mukasa helping us wrap up there, as it has been for the year 2021. Sammy, next question.
Let's go to the issue of you've been saying he's eating money off song boost and stuff like that.
This guy is feeding all over the place.
Yes, let's start there.
Just a quick one. To come out and tell people
that you've developed an app,
that there is a new
but because the app was not awarded an award that is not award, you are not happy.
No. That there is a new app which helps musicians, composers, and managers to monitor their music. Okay? To monitor their music doesn't mean that I am eating off taxpayers' money.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so it's just
well understood.
Okay, Eddie.
Thank you.
The issue is this: artists have not been performing. The president told them, you know what, take your music, digital space, and that's where we are. We're in that digital space. Is it making sense to the ordinary artists? Is it making sense to also the consumers of this art?
Over these 2 years, the first thing I like, with the emergence of COVID, certain things have happened. For example, for long we told musicians, move to the digital space. Most of them, maybe they didn't have time. Others are just ignorant. Others are arrogant. You get what I'm saying? But most of them have moved there. Whether they are making money off it or not, I don't know. For example, YouTube, there's musicians who've been earning money from YouTube, but some didn't know how they are earning money. Some were not getting what they were earning. I was speaking to Chris Evans one time, and he was asking me, Kasuku, YouTube. He was telling me the guy who was running his channel was giving him 2 million after like 3 months. So we tell him, bring your channel, give it to my IT guy to look through it. And Evans was making almost 10 million every month. You get it? And he was just earning 2 million every 3 months.
Out of his ignorance.
So that is ignorance. Then there are those who refused to join the space before. Band, YouTube, what. And people were using their music. So I think the digital space in the COVID times has been adopted. Musicians have moved to it. Now, I don't know if they make money off it, because it comes back to our government. You cannot say, move to the digital space, then you switch off Facebook. Yeah? It has Facebook Watch. These guys can decide to do rehearsals on it and make money off it. Then the same government imposes 12% tax. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I think the whole thing of digital space is back to government. Government teyagadiza abayimbi. Babatia, they imagine if we said to our day internet for as low as, one time we hosted a guy from UCC. Netumubuza about internet, because honestly, you can't upload a file of 1 GB on internet today.
That is true.
In record time. Do you know the guy told us? For us, we are happy because before, you could hardly access a GB. Now, people can access 10 GBs. I hear the coverage is now big. And we're asking him, okay, the coverage is there, but we are talking about internet speeds. How do you have...
And cost.
Yes, how do you have Wi-Fi at your home and you can't watch Netflix? without the thing buffering. So the thing is, it all gets back to government. One, government needs to employ ministers or policy makers. Abategera IT, okitegeera, you can find a minister of IT akwata iPhone nenga tamanyi how do you mirror from the phone to the TV, nenga minister of IT kati. Even if you explain to them that, guys, come on, before you go to pay for these concerts, TV, can you
15 seconds? Can
you open up internet? They will never understand. So the only way musicians will benefit from digital space is in the next government. Not
Thank you very much. Eddie Sendi, yes, I'm coming to you before I come to Jenkins Mukasa. We have been 2 years, no concerts, no stage, no performances. We have been relying heavily on online power and prowess. Is Uganda gotten to the level of buying music? Can we support the Ugandan industry online by buying Ugandan music online?
Everything in Uganda is against digital marketing, especially when it comes to things like music. But the wise musicians, or those who are wise enough to employ services of knowledgeable people in digital marketing, are benefiting. I don't know if I said it to you last time I was here, that some artists are making some good money. People like Kenzo, Rema, Nwaji, Vinka, Waiki Benda, Apas, I'm forgetting the other four. I was given that information by a very reliable source. Those I've mentioned are some of the top 10 earners of digital space. Okay? Now, my advice is the government is not doing its work. So maybe we should put that aside, because internet is very expensive and the network companies are giving us a raw deal. Okay? It is expensive, it can never be consistent. So upload your music onto the different streaming channels, not targeting Ugandans in Uganda, but targeting the whole world. Because you will find somebody in Australia, you'll find somebody in Chechnya, you'll find somebody in Russia who is ready to listen to something new of Tidal or of iTunes. As a matter of fact, they'll just type in latest Afrobeat song. Now, if you've uploaded your music there, chances are you might get those 50 cents or $1 or whatever it is, and when it piles up, you might earn something. Let's get the government out of this. They're not interested.
Thank you very much. Before we go for a break, we have strictly 2.5 minutes. Jenkins Mukasa.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Eddie Sendi has said internet is expensive. That is why all these things are not happening. Internet speed is also another problem. My key question to you is, can we support Ugandan music when we still have people who are selling music muaked for 1,000 shillings? People who can give you 100 songs on your flash for 5,000 shillings? Can we still go and use our data when we have DJs who are giving us non-stops? Mutasa Kafero has 1 million people who are giving out music on CDs and flashes for 5,000 shillings. You want me to use my data and my internet to buy your music?
The issue that we have in Uganda is purely a cultural issue. People do not, Ugandans do not believe in buying music. They believe if you have a song, send it to me. You get a companies, WhatsApp companies. The same issue that we have with those guys. People will not buy music off the space, but they want to download it for free. And that's a big culture. Now, even our own artists, apart from the few that have been enlightened, most of them will go and try to give their song out on every computer in Mutasa Cafe for free. So it circulates. So it begins with the musicians themselves. They are not willing to earn money from their music because they would prefer it goes around everywhere. And it saturates. Abayimbi batwala ennyimba ne bazigaba waliyo n'abantu abakulu mulimu ogwo beyita ba distributor like Tommy Lee, people like those. Promoter. They just go around with a flash and share on every piece they find. And our DJ is like my man here, Brian. They will go to those pieces in Salilayo Pia.
For how much?
1,000, a non-stop for 5,000, things like those. And that non-stop will play in Soro at a party. So that's the problem that we have. The culture is still into giving for free.
When we come back after the break, we go through what you guys are saying on social media, and then of course, the three give us who has been the most outstanding artist of the year and the song of the year, and who has been the most performer of the year when we come back. This is the Interview Debate. Welcome back from the break, man. We are still having a good time here on NTV The Beat as we wrap up the year 2021. A lot of behind the curtains that we cannot reveal to you, but if only Ann Nixon could reproduce this, behind the scenes what is happening here, then you guys will know what we are going through. Even the AC cannot stop the heat in studio right about now. We have just about 7 minutes to wrap up this. All has been addressed. We cannot go without touching the artists. Who's been outstanding for you this year? Who's doing amazingly well? Who deserves to be the artist of the year? Not going by Janzi Awards. You, in your own opinion, because your opinion is highly respected in the industry. So I'm going to ask you straight up questions. Straight up questions. Kasuku, we have over 1 million musicians here. Give me at least 3 people that have done amazingly well for you this year.
This year, I have...
As you look straight to this.
Okay, this year I have Palazzo. For me, I think he's done exceptionally well from last year, moving into this year. Yeah.
You're giving him a window of...
No. Last year he
12
performed
months?
well. This year he has performed well.
Okay.
He had around 3 songs just before August that were doing well. Then this video he did with Sasha Brighton. Is Palav. He's really had this year.
Okay.
It's been good for him. I'll give Pia Pounds. Much as her song was from last year. But then he picked this year. And people enjoyed it.
True.
They even did a remix of it, you know. And so for me, she has done well this year. What happens next for her is my biggest question now. Because when you look at Palazzo last year, I was also wondering, does Palazzo move into this year as hot as he was? And he has done it. That's where the biggest challenge is for most musicians. Then I'll give Azawi. When you look at her album, I've listened to her album, and I think it's a very good one. Of course, she had standout songs like This Year,
Slow Dancing.
Then there's this other song she has.
Maje?
No. There's another song of hers. I think the video is not yet out. They still have a lyrics video. Very, very, very nice lyrics in there. Her album, I think, has some very good music on it.
Out of the 3 that you've mentioned, out of Palazzo, Pia Pounds, and Azawi, who would you crown the king of the year?
Palazzo.
Out of the 3 that you have mentioned, who would you give the song of the year?
I'll give it to Pia Pounds.
22 party.
Okay, and I'll ask you this. With everything you've mentioned, which 3 artists have disappointed you this year?
The most.
That one I may not answer because no, it's the truth. One, I'm going to give you my reasons why I want to answer.
Quickly. 1 minute.
It's been COVID. People, apart from them not producing on the front, people have had psychological problems. People have had financial problems. So you could think maybe their mind has not been right. That's why you see I've not been so much on them this year and last year, because you get to understand someone is seated at his home.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your submission. Jenkins Mukasa, same question. Wrap it up, 1.5 minutes.
Palazzo for me as well. Azawi again. And B2C.
B2C?
Yes.
For you?
Yes. Especially that song, Monda Inside What? That other one.
That was last year.
That was last year.
And then this other one is called...
We're talking of 2021.
They have Yola.
Yola, yes. There's Yola, and the one which Linda Den is in is which one?
Mundao.
That was last
okay,
year.
you want Linda Den.
That one was
I think this because of Linda Den or because of her?
Wait. In the interest of time.
They've been exceptionally good artists.
B2C,
yes.
Palazzo, and Azawi.
Yes.
Out of the 3 you've mentioned, who would you crown the king of the year?
Palazzo is artist of the year. already.
Song of the year?
Song of the year is none of those three. Again, I'll take Pierre Pounds for 22 Party.
Song of the year.
Song of the year.
Eddie.
Eddie, same question for you. Three outstanding musicians for you this year.
That are not on song boosts.
I'm looking at Liam Voice,
Nayo mwana Sendi badna.
Palazzo,
Liam Voice, because of the cake you got?
Taina chakoze mwana.
no, Omoyo.
Because of the cake he gave you.
Omoyo.
It has nothing to do with the cake you received.
Yes, Uncle Eddie.
Two, Palazzo, and the biggest comeback has been Jose Chameleon with Forever.
Family knowledge is going to come out. Let's say cousin wa Palazzo, or let's say cousin wa Jose.
Out of the three, who would you crown the king of the year?
King of the year definitely will be Palazzo, but
Song of the year?
Song of the year, I'll give it to Forever.
Forever. Chameleon.
Never done.
Not Chibane.
Those are together.
Thank you all for being with us. Thank you all for being with us. It's been a beautiful show and afternoon. As we wrap up there, we are Kasuku. As we wrap up there, we are waiting for you to give us your submissions on social media and tell us what your thoughts are on exactly what this show has been all about today. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We are Enjoy the Beat. Bye bye.